So today I've got heaps of stuff to do. I've got to finish all of my assignments for uni in the next 3 days, which is quite a bit of work. Today I'm planning on finishing my digital media unit work, which means I have to read this entire book, which is the one that I bought yesterday. It is actually full, it's nearly entirely pictures with only words on every other page. It's actually it's about cinema and the first film that was made. It's called The Invention of Hugo Cabaret. And then I have to watch the Scorsese film on it. And then I have to write and record a podcast comparing the two. And then I have to write an 1800 word exegesis on my podcast. So that's a bit crazy. So since yesterday was my last day of my film degree, I thought I might spend a bit of time talking about whether or not I think doing the film degree was worth it. So in short, my degree took place over 3 years. In the question of is film school worth it, the best answer I can give is not really. In terms of what I actually learnt in class during the course, there's not actually that much. I learnt a fair bit about analysis and cinema history, but that doesn't really help me create films that much. For me, the primary benefit I got from my entire degree was actually all of the work that I did on films around the degree. So when I would meet students in other year levels and work on their other projects and side projects and short films and stuff, is where I learnt 90% of my practical knowledge of filmmaking. I learnt more helping out on someone else's 4-day film shoot than I did in my entire degree. Okay, so something that my degree helped me get over definitively is gear fear. Gear fear is the fear that your filmmaking isn't good enough because you don't have access to the best gear, to the best equipment, to the best cameras. And we shot nearly every project and short film on Red Epics. And you realize the second that you start shooting with those that good cameras don't make good images, and good cameras definitely don't tell stories. It's still entirely you as the creator rather than the gear, rather than whatever you're shooting on. Okay, pro of film school, you meet a lot of people who have similar interests. It sped up the process of trying to meet people. You can really learn the basics of filmmaking and cinematography in a day to a week of camera, how to control basic exposure, how to do basic coverage of a scene, then how to tell a story, and everything after that is just refinement of that. And if you read just one thick book on film directing or screenwriting, you will come away with about as much knowledge as you would from a 3-year degree, which is definitely cheaper. A bottom line is, having knowledge of filmmaking does not make you a filmmaker. You shouldn't be aiming to learn how to make films. Your goal should be to make films. Whichever path you think is going to get you to that quickest, you should definitely take. That's one of the reasons that I'm going to try and undertake daily vlogging, is that I can start making a film a day. Whereas at this point in my life, I guess only really made 10 films or something. It's a strange idea that I've been doing it for so long and I've done so little things. If someone called themselves an intermediate musician, you'd expect them to be able to play more than 10 pieces of music. I'm gonna end that there. I feel like I'm gonna have to come back to that. So I have now got to spend however long it takes, hopefully only an hour or two, getting through this 533 page book. Okay, I'm like a third of the way through the book, but I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna put on lunch. I vlog now.
You're vlogging?
Yeah, I vlog now.
You walk to the supermarket?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't do much today. Hey, life tip. Use meat scissors to cut pizza. So I'm just taking a quick half hour or so off reading, just to go and film some time lapses. I really need to get better at whipping my camera out quick enough, because in the last 10 minutes I just missed two really cool shots. One was of some people doing gymnastics in the park. They were doing flips and then handstands on each other. And they had a tightrope rigged up to a bandstand. And the other guy, who just started down that way actually, was on a bike that he was laying on. Also, yeah, I know I spent way too much time outside today. I just kept finding cool stuff, and I ended up way further away from home than I initially planned. And so I gotta keep going home and then power through getting this book and stuff done. I'm really out of breath. Oh well.